What's up, Cyberhawks? It's your man Eric. And in today's video, I wanted to go over this threat intelligence case study by Cyberwox. This one right here, I was like very intrigued about because it's dealing with YouTubers and I guess the phishing attempts going on against YouTubers. And since I'm a YouTuber myself, I've been on YouTube for a while. I thought this would be cool to look at, not only from the YouTube perspective, but also from a cybersecurity analyst position. So this one may be maybe 10-ish minutes. So kind of just letting you guys know ahead of time, but let's go ahead and dive into this case study. And I kind of just share my thoughts again as not only a YouTuber who's been on YouTube for many years on different channels, but also as a cybersecurity analyst. All right. So if you guys don't know who Dave Johnson is, like he was going very viral on social media, regarding his cybersecurity journey and whatnot. I believe he works at Amazon now as an engineer, cybersecurity engineer. But yeah, he has some great social media stuff. But anyway, the threat intelligence case study dissecting a multi-stage phishing attempt against YouTube creators. All right. So we're going to read all just the beginning part, but I will leave a link for you guys so you guys can, check this out. It looks like he did a video analysis of this as well. I think you have to be part of his group for that. But thankfully, he let this be free here so we guys can all see. So phase one analysis. And this is the initial access to Phish. And let's see, I guess we'll read some of this. Initial access consists of techniques they use for various entry vectors to gain their initial foothold within the network. Okay, you guys can read the rest right there. And the email appeared deceptively routine. A Google Drive shared notification informing me that my channel was at risk of being banned unless I filed an appeal. Historically, phishing emails attached malicious Office documents or zipped executables, so yeah, watch out for those zip files. In recent years, defenders have become more resilient against those vectors. As a result, attackers have shifted to cloud file sharing abuse using Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive to bypass filters, impersonation of high-value brands, YouTube, PayPal, Microsoft, and social urgency, act now or lose access. And yeah, this one, this is like one-on-one on email security or phishing attempts, the watching out for anything trying to have you act now, like trying to pressure you to act right this instant, so you're not aware of the other red flags there. But yeah, this is the email, I guess, or maybe one of them. Item share with you updated strike policy. And okay, like if you're just looking at this, if you're looking at it quickly, you probably think this is probably real. I can definitely see that. However, first off, YouTube again wouldn't be sending you like this on no type of Google Drive. Also, too, regardless of the site, like if it's YouTube or your banking, whatever, if you're unsure, what I like to do, I like to go to the actual website. Like, don't click on anything on the email. You go right to the direct website. See if you got any type of notifications on there versus you clicking on the, any type of links on the email, especially if you're unsure. And then here's another one. You've been invited to, you received a strike. So the wording on that is already out. So that's already another red flag. And let's see, let's put this bigger. I can't tell that's AI, like Vimeo at Vimeo, or is that like an L from my distance on the screen? You guys can probably see it better. But yeah, YouTube guidelines invite you to collaborate on you receive a strike with viewer permission. You can now review and comment on the video. So yeah, when you get a strike, because I've gotten strikes on several videos throughout my YouTube years, and yeah, they're not going to send you nothing like this, where they're inviting you to the strike. Just the way it's set up is just like off, but it's easy for me to see this because I have actually gotten these YouTube strikes. I want to say I have gotten a strike from Vimeo before as well, but I haven't used Vimeo in like years. But this was clearly not a handcrafted spearfish. Yeah, it appeared to be a campaign hitting multiple inboxes simultaneously with just enough polish to deceive distracted users. And yeah, Cyberwox did not look like this. So obviously, if he got this or you got this and you don't see yourself, you probably won't click on this, but there are probably people who still may see this and not see themselves and still may be, hesitant because it's saying act now. You don't want to lose your income on YouTube. So phase two, the fake appeal site and clipboard hijacking. And then the phishing, spear phishing link. I like that he has the sources for all this right here. So you kind of see the different techniques that they're using against you. So, okay, now the spear phishing. All right. So clicking through the initial policy video led to YouTube strike alert.org. A fake YouTube appeal center. Okay. So we're seeing some stuff right here. This page was convincing enough to mimic YouTube's workflow. Now let's take a look at this. Let's see how good this looks, I guess. manage appeals for your YouTube channels. Okay, okay. Just looking at this outside of like the URL, I could see this like looking pretty legit. I'm not gonna lie, I can see this looking pretty legit. And we have the site right here. I want to see if I can copy and paste this. I can. Like being a cyber, I get like a lot of emails that I kind of have to like look through. And this site right here can help you out so much. When you get people sending you emails that asking if like the email is like legit or not, you can go to Virus Total. That's like one of my favorite sites. Put in the URL, YouTube. Oh, okay, so I'm guessing the site may be closed, but usually you could type it in here and you'll get some results. Usually green, good for the most part, or they haven't found any red flags from that's been reported, or a whole lot of red flags that site has been reported a lot. So this is a great site to look at. I'm not even sure why it's not working right now for that, but maybe that site is not up anymore by the time that I actually got to this lab. So they could be it too. But you can definitely check out Virus Turtle on that for sure. But anyways, me posing as Mr. Beast. All right. Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot. Look at this right here too. They want you to search for your channel. That's already a big red flag too. If YouTube already has your information, you don't have to type in your URL. I mean, type in your YouTube channel, and not just with YouTube, but again with other like phishing attempts like this. If they already have all your information, why do I have to then find my page and find all myself and put that back in? You know, again, just right like red flags to like look out for. So he just put Mr. Beast and I guess submitted his appeal there. And here's the clever part. It didn't even ask me to log in to my channels afterwards. Instead, it auto-populated my clipboard. Oh, with a command, it told me to complete the appeal process by executing Windows plus paste enter. Wow. Yeah, YouTube is not going to have you do all of this craziness like this using your clipboard and all that. No, if you go to YouTube right now, you already signed in. You should already still be signed in. You shouldn't have to do all this extra stuff. So again, it's just more red flags. And then, yeah, this represents a notable evolution in attacker techniques. Yeah, this is different. This is different. Historically, attackers tricked users into downloading executables. Today, they social engineer users into running native binaries already on their systems. Again, these guys are trying to be smart. And this helps them to lift off the land. Also, clipboard hijacking is an under-discussed topic in phishing defense. Most training advises don't click links, but rarely emphasizes be cautious about what you paste. It's good to note. And you know what? I'm going to copy this right there so I don't have any part of the other link. I'm showing my clipboard, or at least my immediate clipboard. But yeah, okay, let's see what he's doing now. Okay, he's putting in a like a command Windows system AC policy. Okay, so the paste leverage MSHTA executable, a signed Microsoft binary capable of fetching and executing remote HTML application files. Okay. Tooling transparency, not sponsors. Okay, using any run. Let's see. This analysis was powered heavily by any runs interactive malware sandbox, which made it possible to observe each stage of the phishing chain in real time. So yeah, this is another thing too. If you're in cyber, or I guess interested in like going through emails like this that are obvious like phishing attempts, or maybe not obvious, you can open this stuff up in like a sandbox so you can see what it does without it affecting your system. Using any run, like there's several other ones that you can use. Just type in free sandbox or XYZ and you would find some on YouTube. But the sandbox, it just allows you to, again, play around with all this stuff and not worry about your own main machine actually getting affected. So yeah, this issue not sponsored by any run. Okay, so let's see, keep going down. He used any run. So that's how he's kind of like running this so it doesn't affect the system. And then we're on phase 3 right here. And you guys can like slow down the computer or just look at the link if you want to read up on this one here. But MSHTA isn't malware. It's actually part of Windows, specifically a living off the LAN binary. Okay, attackers abuse it because it's trusted, signed by Microsoft. Okay, it bypasses application whitelisting in many enterprises. Interesting. And it supports remote execution of aids with full scripting capabilities. Okay, interesting to note. Okay, I'm making notes right now, so when I go back to work, I have an idea. And okay, here's a threat verdict: 100 out of 100. Yeah, this right here, 100 is like, yeah, this is guaranteed malicious, and you can read up more on that. But yeah, it's showing up as very malicious. And historically, MSHTA abuse goes back to at least 2017. When APT32 and Fin7 used it in phishing campaigns. Maybe one of them is targeting influencers now. Interesting. All right. So now let's go to phase 4, the HTA loader. And I'll look at Baby Shark. Baby Shark has used mshta.executable to download and execute applications from a remote server. Okay. And yeah, I mentioned previously the downloaded HTA file contain absolute, I'm pronouncing that correctly, FB script code. All right. And the FB script code spawned an Excel.application com object. Not exactly sure what that is. Temporarily enabled the registry key access VBOM. Injected a base64 decoded FBA macro directly into Excel and wired a workbook/new sheet event to ensure execution. Okay. Okay. So like they're really trying to make sure that this stuff affects your machine so they can go ahead and get your info. Quick aside, I thought this string, okay, quite interesting. Instead of writing this suspicious string outright, Excel the application, the attacker breaks into smaller fragments. Oh, wow. Okay. So they're really thinking about each step by step. And I wonder, do they also use like AI and stuff like that to help them out with this, help them out with these breakdowns? So yeah, then at runtime, those fragments are concatenated into the full string Excel application. The reconstructed string is then passed into created object to instantiate Excel via COM automation. Okay. So let's just kind of skim through some of this, kind of breaking down some more. Phase 5, the FBA reflective loader. Okay. This is my first time hearing about an FBA reflective loader. I'm intrigued to hear and see more about this. So once ejected, the macro acted like a reflective shell code loader. Instead of dropping a file to disk, it converted encoded base64 payload strings into executable code, and it used indirect API calls to resolve Windows functions dynamically, avoiding static detection. Again, they're trying to get through all of the different detections, so it's easier for them to affect you. Behavior actions, okay. Using the get, parameter 3, false, return nothing, okay. Another screenshot. And this is the same type of technique often employed in advanced malware and C2 framework searched as Cobalt Strike. The difference here is that it was part of a phishing campaign targeting YouTube creators, which illustrates how attacker tradecraft once elusive to nation states or red team operations and now appearing in common campaigns. And well, that's good to know because again, like the more technology advances and especially the more, with AI and stuff advancing, the attacks that regular people are going to be, experiencing is going to be even more crazier compared to 5 or 10 years ago. People are becoming more aware, like the younger generation, but again, they can be targeting older people. And not necessarily like older people, like we can be people like 50, 40s, probably, getting attacked like this, especially with YouTube. And it's like, dang, you got like another 40, 50, 60 years of even more crazy attacks that may be coming against you. But yeah, let's go to the 6 now, command and control. I'm assuming that's how they can take control of your machine, possibly. Excel itself acted as a beacon, the communication channel. Protocol to use HTTPS, but with bash certificates silently bypass. User agent and outdated Internet Explorer string. This can help evade modern detection rules that expect current browser signatures. Interesting. And infrastructure Cloudflare protected backend IP in Amsterdam. Okay. And behavior activities, warning, change to delete HTTPS. I love the screenshots as well, so you can kind of see each step. And let's see, Cyberwox Academy. Oh, okay. I guess that's the last. Was that the last part? I guess that was the last part right here. This is the command and control aspect. And I'm kind of just reading some of this. Adversaries commonly attempt to mimic normal expected traffic to avoid detection. There are many ways an adversary can establish command and control with various levels of stealth depending on the victim's network structure and defenses. Okay, cool. And attribution notes. I'm not assigning this campaign to a named actor. The evidence suggests a commodity crime operation or an affiliate-driven ecosystem rather than a bespoke state-sponsored group. Bummer. Several factors inform the assessment. The targeting, the YouTube appeal lures are a well-worn tactic in campaigns designed to hijack creator accounts for monetization. So again, if you're a YouTuber, kind of just be mindful of that. Not exactly sure why my phone started coming on and recording all of me. I'm kind of nervous now. But anyway, tradecraft reused the clipboard win plus R mshta dot executable pattern loader and reflective FBA macro and drawn from widely circulated public code. Even the outdated Internet Explorer user agent hints at template reuse rather than original development. Okay, so again, when I was kind of going over this a little bit earlier, I was wondering if did like AI also kind of help out And maybe one of the reasons or one of the ways AI could have helped out was probably helping them find these templates so then they can put all these templates together to create this attack. This is infrastructure, you can read that, and then the execution. While loading and fowlless execution look advanced, these have become centered in the malware as a server space and don't necessarily indicate a high skill actor. Yeah. So what's missing for higher confidence attribution, overlaps in infrastructure, payload families, or development artifacts? Okay, given the current depth of my analysis, my most accurate framing is a financially motivated loader campaign leveraging commodity techniques against YouTube creators. So yeah, I can see that because again, if you're taking these YouTubers channels, yeah, you got the funds now. You can, you can, if you want to, you could delete the channel, but why delete it when you can go ahead and just switch the revenue around so that you can receive that in probably some type of foreign account. The defense mechanisms, let's briefly go through that. Process execution hunts. Okay, the MSHTA executable launching Excel spawning a neutral child process, registry hunts. Okay, network hunts and memory API call hunts. Clipboard, it's a lot of different things on this all put together. Clipboard user interface hunts, defense controls to prioritize, restrict, or disable MSTA executable, enable Microsoft ASR rules, block Office applications from creating child processes, and block Win32 API call from Office macros. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. I wonder if there's like a easy tutorial that shows this because I know with like PDFs, I want to say at one point, like I want to say the settings on PDFs, it may have changed, but I want to say at one point when you open up a PDF, it would automatically like open up either executables or like certain files. And you may like go to like settings and change it so that when you open up a PDF, it doesn't do that automatically. And I'm pretty sure it has changed now. But I'm intrigued to see that I guess it hasn't changed for Microsoft, or maybe Microsoft isn't just aware of this. Maybe when this becomes more common, it will automatically just block those. And the indicators of compromise. Let me see if I can put one of these in on a virus total real quick. You can also put in IP addresses. Let me share this tab with you guys. And yeah, that's a 5. It has been flagged malicious phishing. So yeah, it's already red flag there. So again, you can, if you like looking at this, you can go ahead and type, or not type in, maybe copy and paste some of these in virus total so you can kind of see. In the different domains, policy.video. You know what? Let me try to policy.video. I don't know if I'd put .com or not on this, but let's just test it out real quick. Okay, that one is showing clean, but just because it's showing clean does not mean that it's actually clean. Creation date 21 days ago. Interesting. That is very recent. And the last analysis date is 40. I'm gonna look at the details on this just real quick. Let's see if I can see anything else. But the first red flag I saw was 21 days ago. That is not a good sign. I don't believe, because again, if you're like a hacker, you could have just created that website. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's go back to the to this files, hashes. You know what? Let's put this hash in to virus total, because you can also put in hashes on virus total. And look at that. That's been flagged as well. Detected. Trojan has already been detected there. Registry processes. Okay, and then the detection opportunities. Kind of just skim through this so we can get to the conclusion. And yeah, what happened to me is part of a larger trend showing that phishing is no longer just an email with bad grammar. It is now blended trust abuse, multi-stage loaders, and defense evasion. For newer defenders, the lesson is not to underestimate a simple phish. For seasoned analysts, this campaign demonstrates how low-cost adversaries are now borrowing tradecraft once considered sophisticated. Keyword, low-cost adversaries. So even the lower people, improving their skills to be even more advanced. And this incident serves as a reminder that attackers don't have to invent new methods constantly. They simply adapt existing proven techniques in ways that defenders may overlook. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think that was a pretty good read. I think we learned a good amount of different things right now. I want to have to go ahead and do a little studying of some of these attacks, because I'm definitely intrigued to kind of see how advanced some of these attacks can end up being. But I think for the most part, I learned a good amount. Hopefully you guys learned a good amount as well. And again, I think, with the increase in AI usage from everybody, I think we're going to be seeing a whole lot more of these attacks, and probably people using AI to help them out with their phishing attacks to get even crazier with the kind of stuff they're going to be trying to attack you with. And again, it could be using several different things that we have seen previously, but putting all into one type of package that's going to allow them to unfortunately steal accounts from all the different people. But anyway, guys, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I will be seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.